any and all of that. Totally fine. So yeah, I'll be right back. See you guys in a minute. Okay, bye. Oh my god, I'm like an Amazon fucking Amazon.
Oh god.
Amazonian woman next to you. Good god.
My god, you really are like Death by Snoo beside
I know, it's crazy.
I'm the one with the tentacles, huh?
Yeah, for real. Favorite genre, by the way.
She's right behind me, isn't she?
Favorite genre.
Mine's the
of
co-stars to lover genre.
Dude, that's crazy.
Oh, what are you doing, step coworker?
I was attacking the wrong big bitch. I was trying to hit you.
You stupid.
That explains why I finally felt some form of a lie. Finally a worthy opponent.
It's the twin. Oh, shit. Oh, again, wrong character. It's fine.
Here, I'll just start doing this.
When in doubt. Hey, look, the DPS went up. I wonder why. You having fun yet? Distortion, Astro finishing. Wait. Okay, there it is. Yippee. 1227. All that for 1227?
1306. Let's go.
This bitch stealing. Tell you what. I've been out-gamered and I'll never be out-gamered again. Be activated while mid-air. I don't want that. Jumper dash to reset. Jumper dash to reset. Yeah, I guess. Fine. I could buy one thing. I think I could get rid of my... That's fine. Look at you go. Jesus fucking... What the hell? You look like a Mugen character out here.
I know, right? Jeez.
No, not Dread. I'm not ready for Dread.
Did my internet just fucking explode?
It's not your normal type of dread either. This is advanced dread.
Ready for the butterflies to butterfly me? I have no heals. It's Jover for me.
When do they fire?
Oh,
shit.
No. Come on, girly. We can do this. We can beat her ass. We can do it, ass.
God dang. Thank you for the carry. Jeez.
I did have escape deaths, though. Yeah.
That's true. You've got what, like...
A few of them.
How many lives did the cat got going still?
Don't worry about it. Pay attention to the cute avatar. Don't worry about how many I got.
Hail Mary it.
Yo, okay. I believe in us.
Aha, now I can.
We've seen the attack Bridens like once, twice. Not the advanced ones. Bruh. What the fuck? I'm sure the new Liberator chapter is super sick. Oh, it's fucked up because he's got more than one phase. Oh, just hits me in the air with an anti-air, no biggie. Come on, we're chunking them. We're doing it. Okay. What? Full screen? Hello? Got this for real. Got this for real.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know, but that got me. Sheesh.
Oh. Oh.
Aww. Oh wait, the cheat deaths.
Bro, where even am I?
Cheating death again.
Please, please.
I don't know why.
No.
Kind of goes hard.
No, he's got 3 stages.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's over. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Nope. Nope. Bro, what the fuck?
That's wild.
Huh? I'm doing no fucking damage.
No, this is nutty. What the flip?
This is sick as fuck though.
Oh god, yeah.
Nope. Anti-air goes crazy. Jesus, what am I? A fucking Isekai Pro Tag? Stop giving me replays. Oh, I
Man,
ran.
you took the 9 lives.
Please, please. Nah. Nope. No, please, please, please. I'm like, no, yes, wait,
Holy
okay,
shit.
let's go.
Hot damn, Lucky!
Let's go. 862. Yeah, thanks, Kev.
I am fucking speechless.
Oh
Hot
my god.
Fucking damn.
That shit was so fucking dumb. Why does he have a fucking no you cut this shit up the entire screen attack? Let's start station. I love playing this game like a crackhead. Oh fuck. I did love playing this game like a crackhead.
Okay.
No, no, no.
Oh my gosh. Alrighty then, lunatics. I strongly urge you make yourself comfy. Grab yourself a pillow and a blankie. Do whatever you gotta do to feel right at home. If you need to do stuff and work alongside me, do that. Otherwise, chill the fuck out. It's time for some late night lucky. I do apologize. This portion of the stream may end abruptly. I made a little oopsie daisy with my medicine, and yeah, I'm fine. Everything will be okay. I just might need to go. That's all. Belly button? Yes, indeed, belly button. I'm surprised you could even, locate that through all the avatars and, the darkened visuals and all that. But truly, who am I to judge the down badness of whatever's. Okay. So when we left off last time, we quickly reviewed the chapter, the prologue, and then chapter 1 and 2 of Lucky Days Volume 1. Our goal here is to review just the chapters of book 1, make sure that I didn't miss any super important content that needed to be covered, and yeah, just kind of go from there. That's really it. So let's get cracking. I'm gonna read to you with my tripping over my words and all that. It's gonna be great. The early morning sun cast rays of warmth on the tired pedestrians of Aegis' streets. At the Fool's Carol, Jamie had taken a seat in the dining area of the second floor. The vibe on the second floor was more serious than the floor below. It seemed to be filled with adventurers planning out their days and other people holding meetings over meals. Jamie positioned himself with his back to the massive sliding glass doors that led out to the balcony. He had himself dressed to the nines in a fine blue suit and slacks. Jesus, you scared the fuck out of me. He had himself dressed to the nines in a fine blue suit and slacks. In front of him sat 4 adventurers. Are these guys gonna be okay? Look like they didn't get a wink of sleep. Oh well, let's get this party started. Jamie was the first to break the silence. Alright, let's all order something to eat before we head out. Those sound nice, Holly replied. The group waited for a server and all took turns placing their orders. Taiga, the newest member, addressed Jamie. Can you explain why you're coming with us? I thought you mostly worked alone. Jamie leaned back. No one told you? Nope. Yes, we did. Nept responded, but was quickly cut off by Jamie. Well, that's simple. It's because you are ranked as a hatchling, and your party doesn't have a Crodell rank member, Jamie stated. So? Taiga shrugged. Nept shot Taiga a dirty look. I don't feel like explaining all the intricacies of the guild's ranking system. Usually that's Vladimir or Betty's job. But in order for a party to have a hatchling with them, one of the members must at least be Crodell ranked. You're Wyvern, right? Holly asked. Jamie smiled. Something like that. If that's the case, how long will you be working with us for? Tara reached for their glass of water. Depends on you guys. Jamie pointed at Holly. I'm proctoring Holly's Crodell exam for today's quest. If she passes, you don't need anyone else to hold your hand. The server returned with their food and placed each dish neatly in front of them. Nept stabbed a discolored potato on their plate and dumped it on Tara's. Basically, it's your fault we need this guy. Nept pointed at Taiga. It's not my fault you guys needed another frontliner. Taiga stuck their tongue out. Nept stood up quickly, their fists balled. Relax, Holly said calmly. She doesn't know. Know what? Asked Taiga. Jamie shook his head. I think some things are better left as they are. I agree. Holly took the discolored potato from Tara's plate and shoved it in her mouth. Besides, you're cute. Tara groaned and Nept rolled their eyes. Creepy hag, they said in unison. Holly's cheeks were puffed out from the potato stashed in her mouth, but it was clear she was smiling. Today's objective? Jamie cleared his throat. Clear out the nest of dire wolves and return safely. Easy enough. Right, the group cheered in unison before munching at their meals. After several minutes of slurping and crunching away, all 5 of them steadily began to finish up. That was delicious as always, Jamie patted his belly. Now that that's settled, have any of you been to Mimic Forest yet? Holly's eyes widened. Yes, I have. We are not ready for any quests in that forsaken woodland. We? Who's we? Tara laughed. Nept looked blankly at Holly. Never seen someone as hot as you get cold feet before. Flirting? A smug smile spread across Taiga's face. That's cute. No, furball. Not fresh meat. Furball. Nept spat. She's literally a ball of fire when she fights. The two continued bickering for a while, somehow managing to drag Tara into their foolishness. Jamie ignored them and redirected his attention to Holly. You do realize if you don't take the quest, you'll fail and Taiga cannot join the 3 of you, right? Holly nodded slowly. I'm not sending anyone to their death just so I can get a new rank. Jamie's left eyebrow raised. Admirable. Who said anything about dying? Sure, I won't help you in battle or give advice, but if I think anyone's life is in danger, I'll step in. With a slight frown, Holly lowered her voice. You do know the nature of Mimic Forest, do you not? Yeah, I used to spend some weekends and holidays out there as a boy. Jamie reached into the back of his slacks. Plus, if it makes you feel any better, this is my rank. No one will die. Jamie gave a warm smile. Holly felt sweat roll down the back of her neck as she examined his guild card. Impossible. That's what I said. Jamie quickly pulled it away and returned it to his pocket. Trust in yourself and in your team. Or don't and fail. That's up to you. He quickly sprung from his seat and began walking towards the stairs. I'll be downstairs at the cafe's counter. I need to see someone before we head out. Holly gave him a nod and walked behind her bickering party members. Nept and Taiga both looked up at Holly, momentarily releasing their hands from each other's throats. Kara started picking up their stuff. Holly took a deep breath before addressing her ragtag group. I know we all have some interesting personalities, but I need each of you on your best today. Nept and Tara's faces quickly shifted as they became laser focused on their leader. Taiga took note and adjusted her posture so she could see Holly better. We could go the entire day without incident, Holly reasoned. Sure, mimics are rare and often avoid confrontation, but I can't be the only one to feel such discomfort with the state of the world's mana right now. I'm sure the more beastly species feel it too. Even if we run into a mimic, I've tried to make their voice sound more animated. We could easily beat them with the right matchups. Tara nodded. Yeah? Nep could take me, you could take Taiga or Nept. Taiga could probably handle their own until one of us finished up, and I could take you. Holly looked them over for a moment. No, you'd have to put Taiga on me. What? Nep stood up. They'd die instantly. Holly eyed the shield resting at the side of Taiga's chair. Yeah, I don't know about that. Anyway, here's the lineup if we get the choice. Me on Tara, Tara on Nept, Nept on Taiga, Taiga on me. Nept shrugged. You say so, boss. Tara sighed. Fine. Taiga sat silently studying her new group's interactions. Her serious expression caught Holly's attention. Got something on your mind, Taiga? Taiga sighed. You still haven't told me our team name yet. Team name? Nept cackled. Oh, that's a good one. Taiga looked away and pouted. Well, Holly hesitated. Generally speaking, groups are only granted composition names when they've accomplished great feats. Party structures are usually pretty fluid, as it's not uncommon for someone to retire, change teams, leave the area, or, you know. The group sat in uncomfortable silence for a few moments. Nept stretched. Plus, team names are for kids anyway. Well, I think they're cool, Taiga complained. Holly nodded. I get the appeal, but for now let's head out so we can get this over with. Holly and the others took their belongings and walked down the stairwell leading to the first floor. Holly waved at the older-looking man working the guild hall counter before making her way to the entrance of the cafe. Interesting. Okay. Once they crossed over, they saw Jamie at the cafe counter talking with Lucky and Carol. You have to go already? Lucky whined. Jamie pointed at the terminal on the counter. You shouldn't complain on the job, you know? Don't tease her too much now, Carol warned. She's gonna be one of my star maids, so you better behave. I don't see no costume, Jamie grumbled. Carol leaned over the counter. What was that? I said, I don't see why that matters. She's not a freeloader anymore. Lucky remained silent and began fidgeting with her black dress. I forgot she has a hard time out of the house. Jamie reached across the counter and showed her his phone. Remember what I said? If you get too lonely, you could always shoot me a message. Carol crossed her arms. Neither one of you should be texting on the job. Lag. Jamie waved his hand across his face. Besides, if you do well today, I'll take you someplace nice later. Lucky raised her head and her tail began wagging. Fried seafood vendor? Jamie began to walk away. It'll be a surprise. He waved to Carol and Lucky as he caught up to Holly's group. I miss him already. Lucky grabbed a rag and began cleaning the shelving units behind her. After a quick ride east on some wyverns, bada bing bada boom, not a hoe in the room. Holly's group found themselves right outside of Mimic Forest. Its massive gum oaks, what the fuck? Sprawled endlessly into the distance. Tara raised their right hand and closed their eyes for a moment. A chance for a storm today, she said. Taiga looked up from the wyvern they were petting, stopping momentarily. Skies are clear, how can you tell? Tara specializes in water magic, not so dryly. Environmental water magic, not so dryly. Oh, not bad. Taiga looked back at the wyvern and began petting it. The wyvern nuzzled her hand happily. Oh, that's helpful. Makes more sense. What are you blabbing about now, Furball? Not teased. Becca smiled. Oh, she just wanted me to keep rubbing her head. That's all. Okay. Oh. I was right. Anyway, for a Sparrow-class adventurer like Tara, it's unusual to have such a range of supporting magic too. Holly gave Tara a smile. Taiga gave the wyvern a pat goodbye. If Holly is a raven and Tara's a sparrow, are you a hatchling like me? Taiga asked Nep. Nep grabbed their gear. In your dreams, Furball. I'm leagues above you. In fact, I'm already a raven. Taiga's smug grin returned with a vengeance. Oh, is that so? How come Holly's taking the promotion exam and you aren't? Taiga covered her mouth with her hand. Why, you little... I suggest we get moving. Bitch. Jamie stepped between the two girls. We've got a date later. Nep rolled her eyes. Does she know that? Jamie ignored Nep's jab and whistled the tune of Uncle's theme song. Oh, you watch her too? Taiga rushed to Jamie's side. Jamie nodded. Yeah, it's something of a nightly ritual. Taiga grinned. Same. They entered the forest. Holly instructed Nep to stay a bit ahead of the group. Nep found their way up into the understory of the trees. Tara assumed their position at the back of the group, and Taiga kept pace with them. Holly took the point of the grounded members, sandwiching Jamie in the center. Taiga, if we get attacked from the front, I want you up here with me. Otherwise, stick to Tara like glue. Roger that. Taiga gripped her sword. Broadfeather. Sword Broadfeather and shield Cinnabarrier tightly. Ease up a bit, Tara said. Wear yourself out before we fight anything. Right. Taiga loosened their grip and continued walking. Holly smiled and pressed on explaining. Fortunately, the den isn't too far from here. It seems these wolves got a little ahead of themselves and set up shop nearby so they could easily get into the outskirts of the city. That explains why the guild made this an extermin... Good lord. That explains... shop nearby so they can easily get into nearby village. Explains why the guild made this an extermination mission instead of a defense mission, Taiga reasoned. Jimmy ran his hand through his hair. Yepper. Sometimes things just can't wait. His eyes scanned the area impatiently. Nep called out from the trees above. It's directly to our right. Holly let out a sigh of relief. Alright, remember the plan? The group nodded, and they took up their formation in front of them. The group nodded. Taking up their formation in the front of a cave-like structure. Tara began channeling mana throughout their body. Blue lines scattered across their skin, like veins, and their robes began to flutter. She inhaled a deep blue. Deep blue. Tensing. Flexing. Using muscles in their Whoopsies. Don't let your magical circuits get overloaded. Remind yourself. Alright, we should get their attention. Tara channeled more mana into their right palm. Water droplets formed a few inches away from her hand and began swirling viciously. In the blink of an eye, a sphere of water the size of a bar stool materialized. With a push of her will, the water spell rushed towards the cave entrance and crashed within its dark maw. After a few moments, overlapping howling could be heard echoing from within. Nept had positioned themselves on top of the rocky entrance, and Holly stood tall, several feet from its embrace. Taiga readied their shield and held the tip of their blade over top of it. Taiga readied. And I have a lot of... Oopsies. Tara produced a scythe, waiting patiently behind the two of them. Where did Jamie go? Taiga wondered aloud. Don't worry about him, stay focused. Holly ordered before filling their lungs with air. Come and get it. Holly's voice seemed to shake the air. As if to answer her call, two dire wolves measuring 135 centimeters each leapt from the cave. Is that right? I don't feel like that's right. I don't feel like converting. 4.4. A little bigger, right? Better, maybe. Yeah, that's fine. Measuring height. And height. As if to answer her call, two dire wolves measuring 135 centimeters in height leapt from the cave. Nep's eyes glinted. Bogo's binted? Dude, this thing happened here too, what the fuck? Nep's eyes glinted. Leave it to my Ouroboros. Nep called upon a purple and black chain-like breaker. Bladed heads on either side. It slithered through the air, digging itself into the first wolf. As it cried out in pain, the chain began moving quicker, dicing the beast into parts. Taiga darted forward towards the second wolf, breaking formation. Wait, you idiot, Tara called out. Taiga responded by thrusting their broad feather forward. I won't let Nept show me up. Propelling in a straight line following the blade's trajectory, Taiga flew at the beast. Her blade cleanly ran through the side of the second wolf, causing it to die instantly. I overshot. Taiga's momentum blew beyond their targeted destination. I screwed up. I can't change directions like this. In an effort to slow themselves, they tried dropping their feet, but accidentally smashed their toes into a melon-sized rock. Their flight path skewed, causing them to tumble on the ground into the rocky exterior of the cave. Ah! Taiga lost her breath. Her back bounced from the wall onto the ground. Well, Holly sighed. I guess I'm up. Holly deliberately walked calmly, raising her right hand perpendicular to her body. Bonk, bonk. Holly's voice echoed as a massive Krminium hammer with the word ban on its strike plate spawned from a pocket into her right hand. On the opposite side, an exhaust-shaped hole began glowing like the embers of a fire. Her pace gradually quickened, but the hammer never seemed to weigh her down. When she got closer to the entrance, three wolves pounced at her. She quickly jumped towards them. She swiftly jumped towards them and twisted her body with terrifying speed, rotating the hammer around her center point to gain maximum rotations per second. Once the hammer connected with the first wolf, its body turned into a mist of blood and fur. Without giving the second a chance to react, Holly delivered a killing blow by bludgeoning its spine. The third wolf was strung up by Nept and quickly eviscerated by her Ouroboros. Holly's gaze shifted to the left momentarily to inspect the fallen party member. She seems fine. Holly refocused on the entrance, but just like she thought, Taiga returned to her feet. Taiga wiped the sweat from her brow and tried remedying her double vision. It's not over yet. Don't let your guard down, Holly ordered. A jarring growl bounced off the cavern walls and into the opening where Holly's party was stationed. It didn't take long for a multitude of howls to reciprocate the cry. Holly readied her breaker and placed her pointer and middle fingers over a lever. Steady now, the real fight starts here. Tara set up the jump pads. Tara moved her arms in an arc, causing an assortment of square shield-like tiles to appear at strategic points around the area. Holly looked over to her stunned comrade. Taiga? Yeah, Taiga heaved. Don't let anything get near Tara. If you do, this will become a lot harder than it needs to be. Taiga snapped out of her daze and dashed back to Tara. Right. Napped. I don't think I need to tell you. Nap looked down at Holly and ran her thumb across her neck. Handle the small ones, right? Holly nodded and took one last look at the jump pad locations scattered across the area. Listening carefully, Holly stayed perfectly still. A drop of rain fell on her cheek, running down her chin. Aren't we fortunate today? Holly mused as the rain began to pick up its pace. It wasn't by much, but the area had grown darker as the clouds continued to race overhead. Oh man. Finally, a paw the size of a tractor wheel slammed into the newly wet ground. It sank a few inches as its razor-sharp claws tore up the earth. The beast seemed to have crawled out of a cave, too large to simply strut out. It measured several wyverns in height, a true behemoth. Taiga took yet another step back, readying their shield as more than a dozen or so of the monster's kin appeared from its shadow. Yeah, I'm not one-shotting this bastard. Holly clenched her jaw. Staring the beast down, neither her nor it moved a muscle. A flash of lightning lit the arena up, revealing that Napt had already begun strangling two of the smaller dire wolves in the rear. Elfa's roar reverberated in the party's ribcages. Tara could feel the weight of its mana clawing at her throat. However, she was soon released upon hearing Holly's voice. Let's clean up and go home. Holly kicked off of a tile Tara had placed behind her, causing her to rocket forward. She clenched down on her hammer's lever, causing its exhaust to explode with flame. This propelled her even more and caused her rotations to double. No. Triple. She aimed for the Alpha's head, looking to concuss it immediately. Once within striking range, she performed a somersault. Bringing her Giga Hammer from behind her back downwards in a helm splitter motion. Two of the pack leapt up at Holly, grabbing hold of her legs. This caused her momentum to shift, throwing her off target. Underestimate their speed. No, the first set of wolves were a trap to get us to let our guard down. I need to get them off me. I don't want to, but I'm gonna have to do it. Holly began channeling her mana, but her eyes widened as Taiga flew past her at a blistering pace. Taiga's short sword pierced through the wolf on Holly's left side and plunged deep into the Alpha's right eye. Taiga's laser-focused expression fueled a fire deep within Holly. She ripped on the lever again and twisted her body recklessly. I feel like my spine's gonna rip to pieces. Gritting her teeth, she spun violently, causing the other wolf to whip around her. A distorting, popping sound dully echoed through the air as the wolf ragdolled to the ground. Its neck was bent into an unnatural position. At the same time, the Alpha had reared its head back, reeling from the pain. Another pair of wolves jumped on either side of Taiga as she was free-falling in the air. Holly adjusted her trajectory to intercept, but Taiga thrust her arm once more, splitting through another wolf. Aiming for a floating tile, she kicked off of it, pushing her way back to Tara's side. Good. Just finishing up on the back end, and Taiga gave me an opening. Holly refocused on the massive beast still in front of her. Took a wild swing at her. Its paw was large enough to crush her entire body in an instant. However, as she spun, she managed to nick one of the jump pads, causing her to veer off in another direction, completely avoiding the beast's attack. Holly's gaze quickly shifted to the monster's rear as its tail came towards her. Oh no. She raised her hammer in a defensive position to intercept the spiny end of the tail. It was faster than expected, but it suddenly careened in the opposite direction. Holly lowered her hammer from the line of sight and saw a wall of tiles arranged neatly in front of her. Tara won now too. The alpha's spiked tail dug into its chest. Screeching, it began rampaging and indiscriminately attacking everything in the area. That's huge, however. Holly signaled Nep to regroup with the others. Tara had begun to wobble, and the tiles rapidly disappeared from the field. Taiga caught Tara and threw them over her shoulder. Nep had already returned to their side. Not bad, Furball, Nep said coldly. Taiga shifted her weight, making it easier to maneuver with Tara on her back. Thanks. Turns out you weren't all talk either. She couldn't hold back her smile. I'll take things from here, Holly declared. Aptly dodging the alpha strikes, Holly made her way to the right side of the beast. In one swift motion, Holly once more was airborne above the behemoth's head. Beard watched as Holly brought her hammer down one last time, crushing the alpha skull. She raised her head and leaned back, gasping for air. With a massive grin on her face, she reached back out, returning her hammer to its pocket dimension. Beard walked towards Holly, all with smiles on their faces, except Tara, who was napping on Taiga's back. Got a little some on your face, Nat pointed at her own cheek while addressing Holly. Holly used the back of her hoodie to wipe blood from her cheek. Yeah, you did a good job too, Nat. Holly glanced over at Taiga. Despite breaking formation, I'm impressed. Quick thinking made up for your inexperience today. It won't always be like that, but we got lucky. Aren't you gonna praise me too? Tara mumbled sleepily. Holly smiled warmly. Of course. The boost you got from the rain was well employed. Thank you for saving my life. Nap took a battle stance, and Taiga jumped slightly as Jamie reappeared in front of the victorious party. Good job, guys. Jamie gave them a thumbs up. I forgot you here for a bit. Wouldn't expect myself like that if I remembered, Tara mumbled. Jamie laughed. It's a good thing you forgot then. If I had to intervene to save Holly, I would have fouled her immediately. Day's still young though, Jamie hummed. Holly began walking towards the wyvern drop-off. We need to get moving. Holly's nose wiggled and her face turned fierce. Fire engulfed her and cat-like ears burst from her head. Okay. Trying to make sure I didn't do a full. Yeah, okay. Lilith to come to me. Holly's gate released a wave of scorching around throughout her. Fire and echo ears popped, has claws. Lilith. Lilith's embrace. This is probably fine as it was. Okay. Right, F11 probably helps a little. Mimics. Lilith. Out. Yeah. Fire engulfed her and cat-like ears burst from her head. Mimics. With a quick flick of her wrist, she opened her palm and let loose a torrent of billowing flames on Jamie. Run, Holly screamed. The others reacted instinctively. Taiga slipped in the mud, but took off after Net. Holly seemed to move more freely in this form as she rushed after her party. She could get caught, but she but she could get caught up. But she got... Fuck. She got caught up by... Oh, before she could. What the f... Brain, go away. Work today. Okay, here we go. Before she could get caught up, 3 figures stood in her way. Dude, I'm between the meds and just like being tired and shit, dude, it's hard. It's hard. Author, by the way. The first looked exactly like Jamie, the second resembled Tara, and the third was Nept. Holly eyed them carefully and tried to get her breathing under control. With Tara down, this got a lot more complicated. Holly looked side to side, looking for an opportunity to escape. We'll have to deal with Tara first, otherwise I can't regroup and we won't be able to play to our strengths. But Tara will make it impossible to hit him. She felt her heart drop as she saw a plume of flames light up in the forest in the distance. No. It seems like they have to fight me. Holly shook her head. I just have to trust in them. Holly charged at the fake Tara, hoping to eliminate it early, removing its supporting prowess from the equation. But Jamie appeared in front of Holly, catching her off guard. A quick left jab to her chin shocked her, and Jamie clinched to the back of her neck. He managed to land a sharp knee to her gut, but quickly let go of her. Holly's aura crackled with flame. Aw, did my flames give you a little smooch? Holly teased between gulps of air. The fake Nep's Ouroboros snagged Holly's ankle, pulling her leg back. Losing balance, Holly fell onto her face before getting pulled towards Nut. The chain wrapped around Holly's entire body, cutting into her. This isn't good. Holly writhed in pain as the chain grew tighter. Clang! Taiga deflected a strike from their double and jumped back multiple feet. Their movements had slowed from the poor conditions and awkwardness of carrying Tara. We need to make a swap, Taiga yelled breathlessly. Yeah, I know that, Furball. Nept yelled back. I can't find an opening. Nept swung and jumped from tree to tree with the Ouroboros, avoiding... Ouroboros. Oh, what the fuck? Ouroboros. Avoiding the mimic Holly's fiery blasts. Nept slipped... I fucked that up more than once? That's awkward. Oh, okay. Nept slipped off a branch, but aptly shot their chain into another tree, narrowly dodging certain death. Nept called out to Taiga, if we survive this, remind me to avoid making Holly mad. Not making me want to swap. You're not making me want to make that swap now. Taiga sidestepped a wild swing from their copy. Once again, she jumped multiple feet away. She jumped multiple feet. I like how I just said feet. Teehee, this must have been before the metric change. Cool. Multiple meters back. Jumped a couple of back. She ascertained the distance and quickly shifted her weight. It's like I have gender neutral and then I have gendered, and it's like both. Her weight expecting an onslaught. Their copy rushed them down and swung widely, almost grazing her neck. Thought as much. Taiga thrust their broad feather, launching their way upwards, landing next to Nut. Taiga hunkered down in front of them with her cinna barrier placed between them and a massive ball of flame. I don't think the breakers have any special properties. Taiga shouted over the sound of their shield warbling as it absorbed the flames. Nept took a moment to gauge their surroundings. If that's the case, that makes this whole thing less of a hassle. Nept signaled Taiga's copy. Oh, in that case, can you use your Ouroboros to hold on to Tara? I mean, since fighting me without actual breakers wouldn't be a hassle. Nept opened their mouth to object, but instead grabbed Tara and quickly chained them up. I'll make me clean up your mess. Nept sighed before jumping down to the fake Taiga. You know, I'd be willing to trade you in for our furball. Ours is too noisy. Trade you in for our furball. Ours is too noisy. Gotcha. Trade our furball for you. Trade our furball for you. There we go. That just makes more sense. Ours is too noisy. Nept said to the mimic. The mimic tilted its head slightly before charging at Nept, thrusting for her head. Unskilled but physically impressive. Nep managed to sidestep the attack, but the Mimic's blade grazed their cheek. Grazed her cheek. Minor wound did not go unpunished, however. Raised her cheek? Not gazed. What the fuck? Must have been a mistype. The minor wound did not go unpunished, however. Punish my enemies, Clover. Nep raised their arm in a slashing motion, revealing a creminium rod, roughly 107 centimeters in length. Damn. Beyond the hilt on the other side of the metallic substance, a glowing purple blade formed from pure mana. Beyond the hilt on either side of the metallic substance. Dual-sided? Okay. It seemed to be contained by the apparatus's form and magical engravings. The blade flashed through the Mimic's side, causing a gash a few inches deep. Whiling, the Mimic's shield arm heavily connected with Nep's chest, dropping them to their rear. About 100 meters away, Taiga was buckling under the weight of Holly's maniacal assault. Attacks came from seemingly every direction, no matter where Taiga flung themselves to with Broad Feather, or what blazing attack they blocked with their Cinna barrier. It seemed impossible for them to launch any kind of offensive. This is ridiculous. I can't close the distance. It's taking longer and longer to absorb their fire magic too. Eventually I will lose this battle of attrition. I need to change my strategy. After absorbing one more blast from Holly, Taiga pulled a 180 and thrust their blade away from Holly back towards Nept. They took a look over their shoulder. Yeah. She took a look over her shoulder, verifying. Yeah, like, I'm... Dog. Roll a 180 and thrust their blade. Okay. Plus her blade. Helps if I read. She took a look over her shoulder, verifying she was creating a gap in the distance. Scanning the gap between them. Scanning the environment, Taiga noticed Nep deftly evading their foes' moves. It seemed they too couldn't land a decisive blow. Taking note of Taiga's approach, Nep repositioned themselves, forcing the clones back towards its original. Screw this up. Nep's face twisted in agony as they blocked a full-powered slash from the Mimic's blade before being countered by another shield strike. The Mimic raised their sword arm, to ready a finishing blow. Swoosh! Taiga flew beyond both the clone and Nept, their sword arm in front of them. The clone's head fell from its body, rolling to Nept's feet. The Mimic quickly dissolved back into the ground, disappearing from view. Nept turned tail and ran towards Taiga. Got lead in your boots? Nept yelled. Let's go. Taiga kept pace with Nept, constantly scanning their surroundings. Where are we going? Nept shrugged. I don't know. I forgot where I left Terra. Taiga's jaw dropped. Seriously? Shh. We need to regroup and come up with a plan for taking down Holly. I want to get this over with quickly so we can get back to the real one. Taiga bit her tongue and continued following Nept. Wait, stop here. Taiga slid into some underbrush, whipping their bag around their body. You crazy? We'll get caught if we stay here. Nept looked around worriedly. Now's not the time to be fiddling with your bag. Big, small bag. Taiga's voice was defensive. And that chain of yours, is it shiny? Nept stared at Taiga blankly. Okay, you've lost it. Is it shiny? Taiga doubled down. Well, yeah, I guess so. Sweet. Taiga ripped a well-used compass from their bag and gave it a quick thwack. Alright, Avarice, where is it? She opened the tiny device, revealing each of the cardinal directions. A jittery needle rotated out of control for a moment before locking in slightly to the northeast. Nept had been nosily lurking over Taiga's shoulder. Nept sighed. That's back the way we came. Taiga nodded and raised Avarice up to Nept. If I give you it, can you promise me you'll bring it back to me without a scratch? If I give you would absolutely name it Taiga? Avarice. I lend you do avarice, can you promise me you'll bring it back to the scratch? Taiga's eyes locked on Nux. Nut pushed Taiga's hand away. Wouldn't it just be faster for you to go get Tara with your broad feather? You both know you can't dodge Holly's attacks without Ouroboros. And if I'm being completely honest, Taiga leaned back and rubbed her sword arm. I don't know if I can thrust all the way there and back. I'm spun. Nep closed her eyes. Wish the real Holly were here with us. We should have stayed with her. I can tell you two have a lot of faith in her. Taiga began to stand up. But I have a feeling we would have gotten in the way. I know, you're right. Nep nodded. Taiga smiled. Sorry, can you say that again? Shut up and die. Nep walked out from the underbrush. What? Don't die until I get back. I want to be able to see you cry like a bitch when you do. Like a little bitch when you do. Just go get your pile of junk back and wake Tara up already. Taiga threw avarice into Nep's hands. Nep took off in a beeline following the compass, and Taiga closed her eyes to focus. My arms are heavy, and I'm starting to have a hard time breathing. I remember the last time I moved around so much with broad feather. With a quick stretch, Taiga took off in the direction she thought she would find the mimic hollow. Nice. I need my eyes to break. They be burning. Man, what the fuck? They burn. These eyes are on fire. Yeah, chat, I don't know. I don't know what this week is gonna bring. I'm very confused. Supposedly we have plans for the 4th, but I'm kind of like, I don't know. I already don't really like doing parties, but I think it's just gonna be our household. That's not so bad. That we're like our household plus others, it's just too overwhelming. But if I'm just like, I don't know, if we're just grilling some stuff and doing some deli meat subs and like appetizers and shit and just eating and vegging and fucking off all day, that's fine. I think the pool's gonna be installed. Definitely not this week, but in a couple of weeks. I could be wrong. Excuse me. I need somebody to come back out and check the fence before they come to install the pool. Because, you know, town ordinances and bullshit. Man. Speaking of fences, oh my goodness. There's a company I don't remember doing a job application for, but apparently I did one for. And they're a rival company in an industry that I used to work in. A rival company to a company I used to work for in an industry I used to work in. There we go. And this company, this one that I apparently did the application for, has emailed me no less than 50 times over the past 6 years? 7 years? It's probably been 7 years at this point. I stopped counting last year. They've emailed me since then, but they emailed me, and they would come into my store that I managed and try to headhunt me over and over and over again. And I never took them up on it, even after I left that one company. Ultimately just came down to, like, after I left the company, I didn't want to work in that industry anymore. But before that, it was like they could not afford me, straight up. I was getting paid a higher like hourly salary than my coworkers, and on top of that I was getting commissions and bonuses, and I was just making too much. The competitor could not afford me, but I guess, I don't know, I guess they're still looking, they want me, so excuse me. The only reason I know that I applied is because they were like, hey, saw that you finally applied, and I was like, I don't remember doing this, but okay. Maybe I didn't. Maybe they're just lying. I was like, sure. So I gotta talk to them soon. Speaking of soon, there's a lot of soons right now. I got next bit of classes starting up on the 7th. It's only one class, but I guess it's like really involved. What did I apply to? I applied to a job in an industry that I used to work in years ago, I guess. But I've been doing job apps while I've been driving this whole time. I've probably done something like, I don't know, I've applied to hundreds of places. I've gotten so many fucking interviews. I can't keep track anymore. So many job offers, and I'm just like, the problem is, I think I brought this up before, but the problem with taking a lot of these jobs right now is my insurance is going to go up so much that a lot of these jobs, it just like won't be worth taking, if that makes sense. Just because of like the situation with my health, and then, you know, 2 kids plus my wife, so there's like that. And insurance is fucking. It's expensive, even if you do high deductible. If I do high deductible, I'd be cursed anyways. It'd be over. So there's that part, and the other part is a lot of these jobs, they can't like work around. A lot of the jobs I can get and I can take, they don't have like a set schedule, and a lot of the times on like my sales jobs I've had in the past, they don't have like a, you know, just give a 2 weeks notice thing, and if you have appointments, go to the appointments, and then you know, get your just make sure your sales numbers are good. Like usually in sales, if you perform really well like I do, you kind of get the privilege of, well, I got to come into work late, you know, in a couple weeks because I got my kid's appointment, or I have an emergency kid appointment today, and you can just kind of show up late. And a lot of companies will work with you, but a lot of these jobs, they don't have that. So it's kind of like I'm losing that freedom, that scheduling freedom. And with our kids, right now they're not in school, but when the older one goes back to school, it's gonna be like we're gonna be sick all the time. I constantly get sick, and a lot of employers, like, they don't want you at work sick, but they also don't want you taking off. So when they send you home, they'll start to get an attitude with you, because they don't want to send you home. They want you to call off so they can use it against you. But if you don't call off, they're going to send you home, and then they're still going to use that against you, because then you hurt their feelings, right? So there's like that. This state's so fucked, and a lot of the employers here are so fucked. But so there's like all that, and then I'm constantly getting sick. I have a like fucking random set of health issues right now that are just super problematic, and I can already foresee having a spell on the job and it just becoming a massive process. There's a ton of concerns where it's like, cost wise it doesn't make sense, schedule wise it doesn't make sense, unless the job is super flexible. There was one job I was kind of excited to take on. Got the job offer. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do the training, and then I don't remember the exact wording, but the fucking hiring manager was being wild. They were being wild. It was like, oh yeah, originally the training was 5 days a week. It was gonna be like what, 8 to 5 or something, 9 to 5. And then the training manager was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be Monday through Saturday, possible Sundays. You'll get done when you get done. We'll probably be going till 8 at night, so like 9 to 8 or whatever, 9 to 7, 9 to 6, I can't remember. It was something like that. You're gonna have to travel, like all these things that I was told wouldn't happen, and then the pay would be exactly the same, which was just not acceptable, and a bunch of other things. And I responded, I was like, hey, I was told, you know, this is what we were doing. I don't mind working the extra hours, but I do need compensation, you know, for my time, essentially. Like, this is what I need to do for it to make sense. And their response was, it should be an honor and a privilege to receive training from our company. We're the top of the line, and all these things. My training is state of the art. Basically, you should be paying us for this training. You're privileged to even receive any form of payment, any form of compensation during this training. This is state of the art, industry level stuff. And I was just like, nah, I'm good. I kind of just want to hit him with a, let me guess, you're going to teach us about the sales process that everybody teaches. Even though like 90% of that is just teaching people who have never sold or talked to people before how to sell. It's not the end all be all. In fact, a lot of the times it's bad and you want to actively avoid it. Speaking as somebody who's like doesn't have that much of an issue with selling, except for, you know, one time, my bad. They lost their honor after lying. I agree. It's actually funny. There was one industry I basically failed in, and it's one of the more recent sales industries I worked in. Sales companies I worked for. And I started thinking to myself, I was like, is this failure because I'm so used to not using my masks and people are getting the autism vibe from me or the whatever vibe from me because all that stream time and all that time at home where I've just not been masking? Am I regressing? Is this what's happening now? And I think that's genuinely the case because like while I can I shouldn't say like I can read people, while I'm able to understand how a person's like feeling and thinking based on looking at them and observing them, while I can do that, my ability to be fluid has, with like my voice tones, my body language, etc., has completely disappeared. And I don't think that's a lack of skill thing. I think that's a lack of putting energy into it thing because I haven't had to do it, and because I realize now that I'm not doing it, I'm ultimately happier and I feel better, which is sad. I can't make facial expressions. No, well, I definitely have a default that's there most of the time, and I can't, like, I make them less probably than most people, but ultimately before I was constantly being performative. I don't know if that makes sense. At home, at work, everywhere, constantly being performative. Whereas like here, I haven't been. My face is what my face is. And I kind of just stopped doing that, like with my vocal inflections and my face and whatnot. And I would, like, it's weird because I would say that my base existence is more expressive now than it used to be. Like my true base existence, just from like VTubing all the time and talking here and doing this thing, I feel like I've gotten better at naturally expressing myself through like tone and movement and stuff. Whereas like before it was all forced and very performative, and it was more than what I do now. I don't know if that makes sense. And now it's like, it's very difficult for me to do that. It's like even more draining than it was before, and it takes more of a toll on me, and I just kind of don't do it. But, what was I gonna say? I don't remember. My brain's kind of cooked. It's interesting because you hear from VTubers that gotta over-exaggerate facial expressions to get it recognized on their model. Yeah, so like I really should be making more movements with my mouth and my eyebrows than I do. But fortunately, with the way my settings are set up and the way they're rigged, I feel like it responds pretty well. Don't get me wrong, there's times where I'll just be sitting there with this face. Whoops, what did I just do? Right, and it kind of looks like I'm scowling. I'm like, whatever, it's just my face, man. I'm not gonna stress about it too much. But like, I know that I should put more effort into that, but yeah, no, they're correct. Your live stream died, okay. But yeah, no, the VTubers that say that are correct, especially with 3D models. Well, let me rephrase that. Especially with 2D models, the amount of, if you want it to register what you do better, you have to be way more expressive. And I think it's even doubly so or more so when you use an iPhone for your facial tracking, because while it tracks you super well, while it tracks you super well, it is also more finite, like more control, like not more finite, more you have more control over it. So there's more chances for you to make a mistake if you're not being deliberate. I'm not saying what I want to say. I've been watching the model stream for like 4 streams. Yeah, I know. It's almost over though. Bust. It doesn't help that we've had some short ones too. We did 2 of the 4-hour late night luckies. It'd be basically done by now. But yeah, no. I don't know. It's tough. Thanks for the headbutts. Don't get me wrong, it's like, it's something that I could absolutely work with and just overcome, but kind of just don't want to. Yeah, can't be asked. I don't know. It's also, I feel like it's a lot easier for me to emote and just be when I'm talking to y'all, or like I guess to my webcam, and knowing that I'm streaming / being lucky rather than being IRL me, because I feel like there's a certain expectation, and when I start acting similarly, good God, I'm cooked, to how I act on stream, or with the same type of passion for things, where I start rambling like I do on stream, I can feel people around me look at me differently, or see them make faces and stuff, and it's not pleasant. So I just don't like to do that. It's better to just like kind of do my own thing. Judging, yeah, it's partial judging, and then it's also partial just like, you tell people are just waiting for me to shut the fuck up even if I haven't been talking that long. The only time people really seem to enjoy me talking is when I'm being quote unquote funny, and even that's like, I don't know, my operative form of existence isn't trying to be a teehee funny monster, so that's pretty hit or miss. It just depends. I don't know. It sucks, but it's like, it's part of what happens when you exist around people who just have like vastly different lives than you as far as like what they value. And if it's like they value just like a lot of like small talk, or I don't want to call it drama, but like drama, or just like me type things, it's really hard to, it's hard for me to engage with that honestly without getting judged. Baby's waking up, I gotta go. Maybe she'll go back to sleep. She's on her back, she's probably gonna get up. Yeah, anyways, I think I gave my eyes enough of a break. Explosions rocked the woodlands as Holly let out a cannonade of intense fiery arcs. Jump pads scattered the area, shattering against the force of Holly's assault. I'm glad I put that detail in there. Jamie appeared behind Holly, attempting to strike her. She quickly spun her heel over her head, sending a pillar of flame behind her, scorching several trees. It's too fast. Holly contorted her body, narrowly dodging being impaled by Nep's bladed chain. She then managed to wrap her thigh around the chain. Spinning her body, she reeled Nep in like a fish on a line. Before attempting to strike Nep, she wildly shot a wall of fire behind her. It'll keep that creep off of me while I ash this fake. On the wrong side of Holly's rage, the fake Nep's chest was caved in by Holly's right arm. With a surge of mana, Nep's skin bubbled up for a moment before erupting into chunks of burning flesh. You know too many... Man, you know too many guys who thrive on small talk, and they ask you why girls stop talking to them. They lead every combo with the same, "How you doing?" For you, it's very obvious that kind of stuff gets boring after a while, especially since I'm sure they get the same question from like 4 other friends. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think there's like, at least for me, I know you don't like small talk, but for me, there's value. And even if you think somebody's been asked how they're doing or what they've been up to multiple times by multiple people in a day, I think there's value checking yourself if you want to and you care about that. Not you, obviously, necessarily, just like you as in general. For me, like, it depends, because if it's like you ask somebody, what are you, like, how are you doing? And they're just like, I'm okay. And then you just leave it at that. It's like, well, what was the point in asking the question, right? If you don't respond to the I'm okay. But, because that itself is like the small talk, right? But if you go, oh, just okay. I know you were doing X, Y, and Z recently. I thought you liked that. You know, is that just not fun anymore? Or you can ask them, what's going on, you know, type thing. And then open an actual dialogue. And then it's an actual conversation. And that's just kind of how I look at it. But, again, everybody's very different, especially when it comes to that stuff. And I can understand how that kind of conversation can be super exhausting, because it's almost like maintenance conversation, if that makes sense at that point. And some people don't like that. But yeah, small talk as a whole is pretty yucky in general. Oh my god, I would much rather have a full conversation full of like, what would you do if, and then like prompt, right? Yep, right, well, how it's handled. I still think what you said originally, if you're just like, how are you doing? And then it just ends there, that's absolutely small talk in my book. And then it's like, well, would you ask for? But then again, it also depends on the responder, because sometimes the responder will just hit you with like 1 or 2 word responses to everything. And it's like, bitch, I'll just talk to a wall, that's fine. I don't need to be here. It's really okay. Unless they're in the middle of like a whole ass story and you're just like active listening, like, okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, that's different, obviously. Again, there's different rules of engagement across the board, and navigating that is fucking annoying, because not every neurotypical plays by the same rules either, which is extraordinarily fucking annoying. And not every neurotypical plays by the same rules throughout the days. One day at one time they'll fucking do one thing, and the next they'll do something else. I don't know. For me too, it's like, this is going in a completely different direction, but I feel like so many people, they're just like really fucking passive aggressive with their communication, or really manipulative without realizing it. And it's like, rather than sitting there fucking being like, man, I wish that customer wouldn't have knocked over that sign. It'd be cool if somebody picked it up. Not even that, man, I wish somebody didn't knock over that sign. It sucks that it's on the ground now. Okay, well, if you don't want to pick it up, rather than saying that, what's wrong with, hey, Lucky, I don't feel like picking up that sign right now, and it does need to get picked up. Would you mind picking it up for me? That's way less irritating and like standoffish to me and annoying and passive aggressive than just like, I don't know. Maybe that's just a me thing, but I hate the fucking dance around the thing conversations. Shit drives me up the goddamn wall. Because the thing is too is like it's almost like they weaponize it, right? They'll get you to feel guilty about something before saying what they want to say or ask what they want to say or all that stuff, and it's like, yeah, but was all of that necessary? You could have literally, like, you know what you want to say. That's why you said all this bullshit first. And then if I call you out on it, you're like, nah, that's not what I meant, or that's not what I was saying. But then after like a further conversation, it comes out that, yeah, you did just want me to pick up the fucking sign. But we just wasted 10 minutes of our fucking time with you trying to justify beating around the bush and like being fucking manipulative when you could have just asked me to pick up the sign. But if you look at that, then, you know, you're fucking, if you look at it like that, then you're a psychopath and you're just getting defensive or whatever, and it's whatever, it's fine. Yeah, what's up, honey? What am I doing? I'm talking. What do you think I'm doing? People don't want to own up to being lazy sometimes. You're fine with having negative traits though, so you try to be more assertive, you don't know? I don't even think it's a negative trait. I think it's just like, sometimes people just don't want to do shit. Sometimes people just got done doing shit. Like, it doesn't matter. You could still ask, and if the answer is no, it's no. And it's not even just that kind of thing either. It's just like conversations in general. Really not difficult to take all the extra bullshit out and actually just say what you want to say. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. And it's just like so many fucking people are like that. It's everywhere. It is everywhere. And it's so bad in the workforce because of corpo talk. It's like a million times worse. And I'm just like, dog, please. I had somebody email me for a job thing and they're like, on your resume, it would have been really nice if you would included the date ranges for your prior work experience. You know, that type of information could be really helpful to pass on to people, etc., etc. And I was just like, yeah, it would have been nice. And my date ranges were there in years. I didn't put the months or the specific date when I started or ended. So, and I just wanted to respond, would you like me to add in the month and date, the start date and end date? Would you like me to? And I was gonna confirm it, but I already fucking knew because I'm not a complete blockhead. I was just like, why even say that at that point if you're not gonna ask me to do it? It would have been really nice. Was that fucking necessary? I don't think it was. Again, not a big deal, but it's just like every conversation has that kind of thing to navigate. I'm just like, yeah, well, it's constant. Anywho, match this fake. Nep skin bubbled up. Dies. Got it. By fake Nept. Each breath Holly took was even and deliberate. I need to pace myself. I could take out Tara right now, but I'd be burning through too much mana. The chain that was wrapped around her thigh dissolved, leaving behind nothing more than a puddle of goop. I can win if the others take down their loot foes. If they fail, I'll be forced to go all out, and I don't know what kind of outcome that'll bring. She swayed to the left, allowing a blast of water magic to fly harmlessly beyond her. At least the rain isn't powering up the mimic. Seems like they can't truly replicate our abilities. One mimic defeated, the other two distanced themselves from Holly. Drops of rain turned to a torrential downpour. However, not a single drop could reach Holly's skin. Steam poured from her, obscuring the area with hot fog. With hot dog? That's insane. The three combatants all used this as an excuse to take a breather. But Holly wouldn't wait for long. Running parallel to Tara's last known location, she began rhythmically launching orbs of compact flame in that direction. Tara raised tile after tile, stopping Holly's magic from ever reaching them. Jamie would occasionally appear, taking a swing at Holly, only for her to dodge each one more aptly than the last. I've got it now. Holly planted her feet, ceasing all momentum instantaneously. With a single push, she covered more than half of the distance between her and Tara. It's time to finish this. Mega buckled under the weight of Holly's firestorm. She had her sword sheathed and used her right hand to brace her shield arm. Ever so slightly, she slid backwards on the slippery terrain. Napped, where are you? Her cinder barrier slowly ate away at the flames as the foe Holly walked her down, continuing its billowing beam of flame. Mega's body was drenched in sweat, and her jacket rippled, providing little relief from the heat. I might be able to do this by myself at this rate. Tyga grunted as she took a step forward. I just need to get closer. The cinder barrier began to shine with a reddish hue. Will I make it in time? Thick Holly pressed on, increasing the volume of mana it poured into its flames. Tyga winced as the flames seared her clothes and licked her body, causing light burns. A little more. Grimacing at the overwhelming pressure, she coughed as smoke began filling her lungs. She snuck a look beyond her shield, seeing a blurry outline of her foe. The mimic had stopped moving. I can't feel my hands. My legs feel like rubber. Can't do this. I was so close. Just one more step. Taiga's chest rattled with every breath, and her body trembled under its own weight. A picture flashed through her mind as something familiar yet foreign. She felt a nudge behind her, forcing her forward one more step. What? Her vision refocused for a moment, allowing her to pinpoint Holly's exact location. She filled her lungs with air and channeled what little mana she had into her trusty shield. Her voice was hoarse as it echoed through the burning trees. Back a draft. With a flash of white, a magical sigil appeared a few feet beyond the shield. An eerie crackling sound spat out, heralding the devilish might that was to follow. Within a split second, a flood of mana rang through the air, piercing the mimic and a great many trees behind it. Taiga was blown back 2.5 meters, landing on her upper back. 6 meters, landing on her upper back. She managed to barely lift her head to confirm the kill. However, all that was left was a molten deathbed. Scorched earth traveled from where Taiga had been standing in a cone shape. Mana, much like the mimic, had been seared from existence. Yes, I'm gonna nap now. Taiga felt a slight twinge of irritation as she saw 2 more people approaching her. Well, guess I'll die. It was nice while it lasted. Clinging tightly to her beloved broadfeathered Cimmeria, she fell into a well-deserved slumber. Pairs of boots stepped on either side of her. Damn, she did all this? Tara survived the wasted area. Don't you dare tell her I said this, but Nap smiled slightly. She's alright. Tara lifted Taiga up and followed Nap towards where they had left their Holly earlier. However, they didn't get far. Yo! A familiar warm voice called out to them. Holly, is it really you? Nap turned to get a better look. Yeah, Jamie too. Holly pointed next to Nap. Nap jumped. Ah, stop doing that. Sorry, I just can't help it when you react like that, Jamie chuckled. Wait, Tara said cautiously. How do we know you aren't mimics? Holly raised her hoodie, revealing a massive hole in her midsection. Because mimics don't bleed? Holly smiled warmly before collapsing to the ground. The newly formed party rushed over to Holly, leaving Jamie by himself. Gently picking her up, they hurriedly headed for the exit and their ride. Jamie examined the cone of destruction Taiga had caused. Don't color me surprised. All of them had more guts than I expected. Casually walking away from the war zone, he pondered. Where exactly should I take Lucky after I file my report? Bing bong. The mimics are dead. Once back at the Fool's... How long is this fuck-ass chapter? Once back at the Fool's Carol, Jamie walked to the back where the guild counter was. Once returned to once returned after finally returning to the Fool's Carol. Oh shit, good job, Wayne. Hell yeah. After finally returning to the Fool's Carol, Jamie walked to the back where the guild counter was. He had already seen Holly and her party off at a local hospital for medical attention. An older man with pale skin and a silver ponytail stared at him in shock as he finished his report. The man's golden name tag glistened. It read Vladimir. Are you serious? His voice was smooth for his apparent age. His blood-red eyes seemed to dance with interest. Yeah, like I said, Holly managed to beat my mimic and 2 others by herself? Amy said absent-mindedly. Vladimir frowned. I'm not talking about that. Why did you interfere? Amy sighed. Pops, I could have lied to you. I just thought you'd want to know that there were well over 30 aggressive mimics. Doesn't bode well. We should have evacuated the party and reported it as a failure. Vladimir clenched his fist. Are you sure? Not only did they masterfully handle the dire wolves, but there was an abnormally large alpha. Right, Vladimir said softly. And, Amy continued, they beat a group of mimics totally outnumbered after that. I'd go so far as to say that what Holly pulled off is wyvern material, and each of them should be considered for re-examination. It wasn't just their strength either. They had almost everything. Heart, coordination, creativity, planning. It was refreshing to watch, Amy stated excitedly. Vladimir pondered for a moment, scratching his chin. Well, son, considering your recommendation and support, feel free to give them the good news. Although, I feel as a Phoenix rank, it may be difficult at times for you to accurately gauge the lower ranking members. As Guildmaster, I just don't want to see them get killed over a hasty promotion. What the fuck is going on with the music? Video pause, continue watching? Yeah, I would like that. I think you okay over there? Anyways. Jamie nodded. I understand. Oh, and one last thing. Yes? I trust them with Lucky. Oh, speaking of Lucky, I'm taking off for the rest of the day. Vladimir raised his brow. But why? What's that got to do with her? Jamie grinned. I'm taking her on a date. Vladimir sat down as he watched. Sat down in anguish as he watched Jamie leave. Oh boy. Does she even know that it's a date? Chapter 4, the date. What time is it? Yeah. Okay, well that took the entire part of Late Night Lucky to get through that part. I think we'll call it there. Probably for the best. Oh me, oh my. Where to go? Where to go? Creepers. Here we go. Oh, that's not where I put that. I forgot how to do a raid. Teehee. I appreciate all of you for coming out today. I had a lovely time. Surprised we made progress in Pokemon Rising Ruby instead of wiping, so that was 2 thumbs up. Cool. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your night. I think I said that already, but I'm cooked as fuck. I look forward to seeing you all. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow is Wednesday. Probably full Late Night Lucky. I don't actually know. We'll see. I'll decide tomorrow. Okay, thank you. See you later. Okay, bye bye.